Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 1v1 on Crossing in the Woods. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, playing as the OKW forces in the blue. His opponent is going to be Burmie, playing as the Soviets in the pink or purple trunks. So I'm back, guys, even though, again, I did leave, but we didn't have much videos during the week. I got sick. If you go back and listen to the very opening of the last video, you can actually hear my voice crack because I was beginning to get sick, and I'm still not completely out of it, so I maybe sound a little weird, but for the most part, I'm feeling okay now. And then on top of that, of course, the patch came, and, you know, had to wait a little bit for replays to start coming out to be able to have anything to go with. And yeah, it's also the reason why I didn't make, or part of the reason why I didn't make a video about the patch. But, I mean, there wasn't much to say about the patch. I mean, really, the only thing the patch did was change the Maxim, nerf it, make it so it costs more and takes longer to build. And longer to set up also, and then the Brits got changed on the Cancer Regiment, as everybody calls it, so that the fortification upgrade isn't as strong. And that's basically the only changes they got made. A couple bugs got fixed here and there, and then they added skins and whatnot, but I mean, as far as really changes to the game, that's pretty much the only thing that happened. And because that was the only thing that happened, I said, I figured probably not even worth it to make the video. Hopefully, though, with the whole balance preview thing that they're also adding, maybe that'll be a little bit more interesting to see the future changes. But yeah, I figured may as well just rest up, get better, and hopefully we'll be back in working order and not have to take any more breaks in between. So let's take a look at what the game has been doing so far. So we got Angreifen going for double Kubels, a Volksgrenadier squad, and now following it up with a Raketenwerfer because we see Burmie going for his tier 1 and getting himself a light scout car. Going to be catching the Kubel wagon up in the north, getting it destroyed very easily because the Soviet scout car is pretty badass. Of course, we do see the tier 1 there. And then we see this other Kubel wagon trying to fight off these conscripts over on the left-hand side, bringing him down to 3 men, but now getting hunted down by the Soviet scout car. It's going to try and make its way out of the field. However, we do have the wire laid down across the center bridge there for Angreifen. So that's also going to impede its retreat path, which means that this Kubel wagon is also going to die. And this puts Burmie in an incredible starting position, as he's going to be able to push on Angreifen quite aggressively with that scout car and not really have much to worry about. I mean, the Volksgrenadiers, sure, they can get upgraded with Shrek, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. And the Raketenwerfer is, you know, a threat, but it's only now coming out onto the field. And yeah, I mean, problem is that scout car has taken quite a beating, so it's going to have to get repaired, you know, relatively fast. And it's currently back at the base, awaiting a combat engineer squad to come and help them because the other squad is in here, well, over here, fighting off these Volksgrenadiers. But a very good starting move there for Burmie. We haven't seen the Soviet scout car in play that frequently, and yeah, it's nice to see it back, and it had quite an impact here against Angreifen's Kubel wagons, so pretty good. Angreifen, though, not dissuaded, as he is, of course, a professional. He is going to be upgrading, or not upgrading, teching, gets himself the supply half-track, and we will see what he goes for. Obviously, it's either Battle Group Headquarters or the Mechanized Regiment. Going to assume Battle Group Headquarters? Nope. Yes, Mechanized. Okay, so no. There you go. Across the field, we see Burmie going ahead and upgrading one of his combat engineer squads with the demolitions package, which of course gives you access to the wire cutters, and just cleanly opens up the path to the center victory point. Gets his combat engineer squad beaten up quite severely, but it manages to make it out of there. The scout car is now back online, fully reinforced, repaired, and has a combat engineer squad with a flamethrower inside that is going to be destroying the Volksgrenadiers here in the heavy cover. They realize that, quickly retreat, but they're also going to take some additional damage as they retreat. The Raketen Warfare is set up in cloak right there in the center, waiting for that scout car to make a move. However, it does not make its move. It is moving over to the left-hand side. Conscripts are right on top of it. They reveal it. Ugh, it's unable to set itself up in time and only gets caught there out in the open. Gonna get flamethrowered. Not to death. It's gonna take some hits, although it is taking a lot of damage there. Needs to keep running. It is the unfortunate case for the weapon teams of this kind of thing where they need two to be able to push it around. So if one of the guys that is pushing dies, the whole squad has to stop so that one of the remaining members can pick up the weapon again and move along. So pretty good play here for Burmie. He's in quite a favorable position. Volksgrenadier squad on the right-hand side. Gets upgraded with the Shredder right on time, managing to get a good shot there on that scout car. The scout car is going to be taken down here by the Volksgren squad. The small arms fire should be enough to take it out before even another Shrek volley flies. However, a quick reaction there by Burmie. Pops out his combat engineer squad long before the scout car dies and manages to keep it alive. So while the scout car is down, you know, could have been worse. Do recall, of course, that it isn't necessarily an instant kill. Ooh, conscript squad up in the north, almost getting itself killed there to those Volksgren. Down to one man sliver of health, but it looks like it's going to barely make it out of there. Anyways, do remember that on these type of cars, you don't necessarily lose the garrison squad inside. Essentially, each member has a 50% chance of dying. So, you know, it can happen, but you know, if the squad is still 4-man strong, you know, the odds are, you know, kind of low. So that's our map. Combat engineers and storm piles duking it out at close range. However, the storm pile is pretty injured here, unable to really push heavily. Down to one man on the retreat, running with fire on his leg, manages to barely make it out of there. Almost losing that squad there for Angreifen. If he had lost that squad, that would have just set him back so much more. But he's fine so far. Did get himself that mechanized regiment headquarters, but nothing out of it just yet. I am assuming he's going to be getting himself a Lux to try and bounce back and maybe get a couple squad wipes with it. Chase him down and kill him on the retreat. But so far, nothing yet. So we'll see what his intent is. As he's planning to just completely skip the tech, but I don't think that would be the case. I mean, if you were to do that, probably the battle group headquarters would be better. At least your infantry can heal up. But yeah, he's probably gonna get something. It's just doesn't have the resources yet. Anyways, right hand side, storm piles moving out, catching combat engineers with the sweeper. These guys don't have a flamethrower, so these guys feel confident that they can kill them. Hell, they even have a sweeper equipped themselves and aren't even going to shoot the guys on the retreat. Should be able to catch some mines there that are being placed. T-70, though, is on the field for Burmie, pushing heavily on the right-hand side, catching a Volksgrenadier squad out of the open. May potentially kill it. It is very low in health, but it's 4-man strong, so it seems unlikely that it's going to be able to wipe it. Gonna get some good kills there with those shots, but oh, nice shot there. Nailing two of them, almost taking out the entire squad. We do see medical supplies dropped in the world there. As the Shreks and Raketen Warfare managing to nail the T-70 quite severely. However, it is able to go for a drive-by and makes its way out of there. And a little bit of a risk there for Burmie, but it manages to pay off and stays alive. Burmie has selected his doctrine, and that is the Armored Assault Tactics. Which does give him access to the T-34-85s, and of course the IS-2 later on. And pretty nicely, the radio intercept. It's a pretty nice doctrine there. And we see Angreifen going for the Puma. So he's going to get himself a Puma. Try and combat that T-70, catch it and get it killed. Pretty good vehicle there to fight against that. But just look at the terrain and the sectors. Right now, Burmie is controlling two-thirds at least of the battlefield. Almost 3/4, I would say, but they've yet gotten that part maybe. They're disconnected though, so not a lot of resources for Angreifen. Center map, we do hear a firefight going on there as they try to take the point. Conscripts and Volksgrenadiers on the right-hand side engaging. They do have support here by a second conscript squad on the woods. One Volksgrenadier squad down to 2 men, forced to retreat. The second squad is now focusing on that first conscript squad, bringing it down to 1 man. May actually get itself killed here. Yeah, it looks like Burmie is going to be sacrificing a squad as it focuses on the wrong thing. Well, not the wrong thing, but another part of the map. T-70 getting caught out in the open there by the Puma. So a nice little turn here for Angreifen, managing to bring himself back into the game, setting down the army of Burmie to 19. So that's quite significant. We do see him, of course, teching to tier 2 or back teching, so you know he's not necessarily not spending his resources and getting himself double maxims. So I mean, we supposedly saw the death of maxims, right? The Maxim, like I said, got nerfed where it costs more to make, it takes longer to make, and it takes longer to set up the weapon. It takes 2 seconds to be able to set it up. So the intention of those changes are to make it not be a mainline infantry, essentially. Whereas previously it was functioning as that. You could just make Maxims and use them as your infantry instead of conscripts or things like that, and you'd be fine. You really wouldn't suffer much. The Maxim machine gun was able to turn around quickly enough and set up and, you know, pin down infantry too easily, I suppose, which is just, it's what we're trying to say, but yeah, we'll see how that works. So Burmie does get himself 2 Maxims to get back into the game. 42 to 25 as far as PopCap goes, so I'm going to fin in the lead there. Not a big difference, though, as far as the infantry value goes. 3 Volks against 2 conscripts and 3 Maxims. 3 Maxims now. Okay, so Burmie showing that Maxim spam is still alive and kicking, I suppose. Sending his Maxims over to the right-hand side. Again, 2 seconds to set up. The Volksgrenadiers are going to be popping an incendiary grenade right on top of the Maxim machine gun. Maxim machine gun will be forced to reposition itself, and the Volksgrenadiers are able to just keep the suppression there. They do take some damage, and they will be able to, will be forced to retreat eventually. Conscripts over on the right-hand side fighting against those Volksgrens, down to 3 men each squad. However, the conscripts are taking a lot of punishment there. Down to 1 man, may be able to get itself killed. However, with only 2 men left on that Volksgrenadier squad and a Maxim machine gun wanting to turn its sights on them, that Volksgrenadier squad may actually die here. You see the Puma, though, getting itself right on top of that Maxim machine gun, forcing it to reposition itself, allowing the Volksgrenadier squad the window of opportunity there to get out of there. The Puma missing horribly with its main gun because, I mean, it is a Puma. However, it's a machine gun on the side, still able to kill some infantry. Gonna try as best it can, getting some infantry kills there with the help of the fire that the Maxim machine gun had already suffered, and has brought down the Maxim machine gun down to 3 men. More Maxims in the center. The other Maxim is going to the left-hand side. So Burmie going to be trying to lock down all the infantry here for Angreifen. Angreifen is now setting up or has set up a battle group headquarters in the center, as he sets up that battle group headquarters to heal up everything at the front. Maxim machine gun does get taken down here by the Puma on the right-hand side. Manages to be stolen here by Angreifen, and gonna set it back, so that helps him out pretty well again. Never give up, never surrender, right? Burmie had a pretty good start, so let's see if he can, keep that momentum going and bring himself back into it. So on the left-hand side, we do see a lot of infantry presence there for Burmie, capturing a lot of territory. Maxim machine gun, stolen one, being utilized on the right-hand side to stop the approaching infantry. Conscripts getting suppressed there, trying to turn themselves around. Combat engineer squad with flamethrowers, going to get a flank there on the Maxim machine gun. Does turn itself around and get a shot off going on that squad. The squad itself down to 2 men, going to be taken down here by the Puma and the Maxim machine gun. And if it doesn't retreat, it does retreat, but maybe a little bit too late. The Maxim machine gun is still getting shots going off on it. Oh, down goes the combat engineer squad for Burmie. Getting too greedy, trying to clear out the Maxim machine gun and just steal it back. Didn't work out, and Angreifen is feeling rather good. 52 to 27 for Angreifen as far as PopCap goes. So yeah, Burmie not in a great spot. He's laying down some mines all over the place. Actually, this is a demo charge now over on the left-hand side. But we do have sweepers on the storm piles for Angreifen, so It's not a necessary casualty there for Angreifen. It can still work though. Maxim machine guns in the center, conscripts moving around. Volksgrenadier squad not going to be able to win that engagement. Not by a long shot, but they will throw their incendiary grenade right on top of the conscripts and cook them alive. Puma pretty much having free reign to move around here for Angreifen. There isn't anything on the field right now for Burmie that can stop it, essentially. And we hear the Maxim machine gun getting cleared out over here on the right-hand side. Not sure what cleared it out, though. Was that a demo charge that was there? Or mine? Probably a mine, I would assume. Not entirely critical to know what happened. I'm not even going to go back and look at it because, well, it got recovered there by Angreifen, so it doesn't change anything, really. The infantry support gun now online for Angreifen, just laying into the background, just taking some shots there randomly, but it will be very, very useful to clear out those Maxims. And we see yet again, not yet again, that's Mechanized Automat Company. So more teching for Burmie. Gonna see if he can just swing back and win the game, maybe like that. Burmie doing a pretty good job though at the victory points. 219 to 408 currently in the favor for Burmie, and bleeding point for Angreifen still. Conscript squad hold up in that shack against the stolen Maxim machine gun and Volksgrens. We do have a Maxim machine gun on the side of it, getting a flank and getting some shots going in there, but the infantry support got at range, trying to do as much as it can to maybe clear out that weapon. And even Storm Piles coming up behind them. They turn off their sweepers, trying to get right on top of that Maxim machine gun. And they do, but did not manage to clear it out. Combat engineers on the right-hand side with sweepers. We see Burmie going for the T-34. T-3485? Yes, T-3485. And more combat engineers on the right-hand side, just being forced to retreat. Maxim machine gun holding the flank here on the left-hand side, making sure nothing moves in that direction without their knowing. And the center point is getting capped for Angreifen as he stops his bleed at 210 points and is going to start the bleed in the other direction. The Puma is still on the field, though. The Puma is actually pretty good at taking out T-3485s now. We see the T-3485 with a funky skin. This is basically what was added in the patch, essentially. You know, a lot of skins were added to the game, available for purchase and such. So, yeah, you're going to be seeing more of those. Demo charge over on the left hand side got detonated. I missed it completely, but since it didn't wipe a squad, again, I'm not going to look at it. Only if it's important I will look, because it takes a lot of time to go back, add that, edit it in, blah 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 and all that. And I know you guys like it, and I do it as much as I can, but only when I think it's important. And the thing is, today I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative with that. Anyways, sorry. Racket and Warfare getting some good shots off at range at that T-3485. The Puma also getting some shots on it, bringing down to half health, but the T-3485 has taken quite a bit of damage. The Racket and Warfare is still there. It's actually looking in the wrong direction, however, unable to get another shot off on the T-3485. Combat engineers on the right-hand side, down to one man, forced to retreat. Conscripts do force the retreat of the Racket and Warfare, down to two men, but it makes it out of there. Volksgrenadiers in the ground, getting suppressed here by the Maxim machine gun. Conscript squads ignore them. And like I said, I'm still sick. I'm not completely out of it, so sorry for the sneezes that I'm feeling. And that will happen. Like I said, I have to figure out a quick way where I can mute my mic. Never actually had to do that, so I don't have one readily available. Anyways, so shit happened over on the right-hand side. Looks like Burmie managed to win the engagement in the long run with his Maxim machine guns and infantry. We do have the Maxim machine guns just duking it out at a close range. However, with the conscript squad right behind it, the Maxim machine gun for Angreifen may actually fall here. However, it is getting a lot of damage going there on the Soviet Maxim machine gun. However, like I said, it does realize that it is going to die here if it stays, and it might actually still die. Going to be retreating as the conscripts try to catch it. Volksgrenadier squad moving into the retreat path, trying to run interference there, and they do. Maxim machine gun able to move out of there and stay alive. Rakuten Warfare pushing forward. Conscripts catching it out in the open. Needs to retreat right away. Although with the support of the MG34 heavy machine gun, as we see Angreifen selecting his Doctrine, and that is the Fortifications Doctrine, the conscripts are unable to do too much to that Rakuten Warfare and do end up forcing it to retreat. Oh, down to 2 men. We do see a Pack 43 on the field there for Angreifen. We also see the call-in of a Sturmovik attack right on top of everything. Oh, that was a very nice strafe there, clearing out the Rakuten Warfare, getting some infantry suppressed, but they're all still alive. T-34-85 pushing forward, going to go for some crushing here on those Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers forced to retreat. We do have shots flying at it as the Maxim machine gun on the right-hand side also gets taken out. Volksgrenadier squad down to 1 man. Shots flying there from that T-34 to the T-34-85 as the Pack 43 is able to just rinse it. Puma giving chase. The turret here for the T-34-85 has been disabled. It needs a little bit of help here. The Puma is not going to go aggressively, is it? Looks like it is, actually. Oof, misses the shot. Nope. T-34-85 is going to be able to survive this, and the Puma actually manages to miss. Oh, another shot flies, and it disables the thing. The conscripts do have access to their anti-tank grenades, so they will be able to disable the Puma, so close call there for Burmie. Manages to keep his tank alive, and the Puma is also there. However, the Pack 43 is there in the center and able to defend a lot of territory. So Angreifen now has a triple cap going in his favor. 184 to 366 still in the favor for Burmie, but that's going to quickly dwindle away with the triple cap. Volksgrenadiers on the left-hand side duking it out with the conscripts. I mean, conscripts seem to be winning that engagement. Not too important. Volksgrenadiers on the left-hand side going for some fuel. Center map, we do see conscripts pushing right on top of that infantry support gun. Infantry support gun needs to get the hell out. Looks like it's going to get cleared out here. MG34, though, manages to provide some suppression and some cover, allowing it to make its way out of there. Remember, the infantry support gun does not have the retreat option, unlike the Rakuten Warfare. So it does have to manually move the hell out of the way. Volksgrenadier squad retreating from the south, down to 1 man. Fortunately for it, the MG34 manages to inflict... Oof. Very nice decision there for Burmie. Producing a Katusha. Katusha clearing out that Pack 43 and making the investment essentially useless, as the T-34-85 was not even destroyed. So Angreifen can recrew it, can repair it, and try and keep it on the field, but, you know, it's no British emplacement with fortifications. It is quite vulnerable and quite easily taken down. The Panzer headquarters getting built over here on the left-hand side. It is going to be taking some damage here by a 3-man conscript squad. T-34-85 moving up, going to be destroying it, and we see Angreifen canceling the building, refunding the resources, but losing his supply truck in the process, which is the vulnerability there that was made with the change, where the supply half track is now, you know, a unit that you have to call in. Part of the fuel investment is there. Pack 43 turning itself around over on the left-hand side against the T-34-85. T-34-85 trying as best it can here. Puma moving up, providing some support. Volksgrenadiers with Shreks unable to do too much, but the Puma getting some good shots off at range, getting some damage in there. Stolen Maxim machine gun on the right-hand side, trying to defend the victory point as conscripts are nearby trying to cap some more points themselves. Victory point on the left has been decapped, so that's a double cap only. Still in the favor for Angreifen, so the points continue to bleed for Burmie. Basically making it a 100-point game right now. Still a decent lead there for Burmie, but that can easily go away, and in very quick succession. So the Pack 43 has been recovered. The units inside, you know, not completely healthy, and you can see that the weapon has taken some damage there. But, well, I mean, the Katusha is still there, so it's just going to go ahead and barrage it again and clear it. Maxim machine gun going into the center. Volksgrenadiers just sitting in front of it, not going to be able to do too much against it as they get suppressed. Puma moving up, getting some shots flying at that T-34-85. T-34-85 just taking some damage on the side, and, you know. Oh, nasty shot there by the Puma. Nails one of the combat engineers as he's trying to repair. Basically splats his head on the T-34. Another Sturmovik attack called right on top of the victory point as Burmie uses it more of a defensive position there as he tries to cap with the Maxim machine gun. Volksgrenadiers on the right-hand side. Going to be torn apart there by the Sturmovik. Puma getting... Puma getting snared there by the conscript. The T-3045 going to go on the hunt. Puma is going to be going down here finally. The Pak-43 is behind here, trying to get some shots flying, but unable to do too much here. The Puma goes up in a plume of smoke, and it is killed. Storm piles right on top of the conscripts could tear them apart. However, with the Sturmovik attack going right on top of them, they're not going to have too much luck, and they are forced to retreat. So nice little assault here by Burmie with that. Manages to put himself in a decent spot on the left-hand side of the map. Center point, conscripts are trying to go for the cap. We do have an MG-34 still there, still able to defend. However, it is focusing on the infantry on the left-hand side as it is trying to cap. MG-34 going to get cleared out here. Molotov landing on top of it, bursting into flames. But we do have Volksgrenadiers moving up as the point does get decapped, and Burmie manages to stop the bleed. Nice incendiary there. Nice Molotov right on top of all the Volksgrenadiers as they push forward. We see the supply half-track moving itself into the center of the map. Again, Angreifen trying to set up in the middle of a firefight. Not ideal here for him. But I suppose if he can make it work, it'll be ideal. Katusha does need a couple more seconds here to be able to set up. Might be able to actually destroy that the Shredder Panzer headquarters as it sets up. Storm piles going for the center point. We still have the bleed stop. Maxim machine gun on the right-hand side does get suppressed by the stolen Maxim machine gun, getting itself torn apart. Down to one man. May actually get cleared out here. Katusha throwing barrage into the center, getting some good hits there on the Shredder Panzer headquarters. The Shredder Panzer headquarters taking a lot of damage, down to about half health. Maybe actually be destroyed here before it's able to finish the build. And it does. Wow, down it goes as well with the Pak-43 getting completely destroyed. That actually puts Angreifen in a very bad spot. Still has resources though, so he's not completely out of it, but losing that, and the Puma. Burmie has quite an opportunity here to be able to push. Center point does get taken though, so we now have a basically 50-point game. T-3045 taking some shots here by the Shreks over on the left-hand side. The Rocket of Warfare did get stolen at one point here by Burmie. It's now back at base getting reinforced. And we see yet another Sturmovik attack getting called in on top of everything. Strafe barrage is going. We do have a Maxim machine gun clear out there on the field. The T-3045 just left there, taking shots after shots there by the Shreks. Not exactly sure what Burmie is intending with that. I'm guessing he doesn't think that he can lose it. Okay, well, there you go. I guess he didn't really care because he now has an IS-2 on the field, but having an IS-2 on the field and a T-3045 is actually a lot better, so like I said, not sure what was going on here. Maxim machine gun right here in the front getting taken by Angreifen, it looked like, or maybe they just took cover here, but the squad got pretty much eliminated there as they pushed forward. So the IS-2 pushing aggressively into the center. Shrek's flying at it, but not doing too much here as they impact the ground. Everything forced to retreat right now for Angreifen. He is getting himself a Rocket of Warfare to be able to have something to fight against it. And we do still have that Katusha back at the field, back at the base, I mean. 8 kills so far, but very important ones where it killed the headquarters and the pack. And Burmie, pushing aggressively, now has himself a double cap going against Angreifen as the point on the right-hand side. Probably going to be nearing getting taken rather soon. Volksgrenadier squad pushing as much as they can. Shrek's flying and impacting on infantry rather than the tank. Sorry, that's funny. But I'm also sick. As a incendiary grenade flies. Oh, nasty Katusha barrage right on top of the Volksgrenadiers. Everybody gonna have to retreat. Shots flying, impacting all over the place, and getting some hits in there. Very nice there for Burmie, doing pretty well. IS-2 has taken half damage here, as the T-3045 got killed on the left-hand side. The infantry support gun still trying to do as best it can to provide some support, but we see the point on the right-hand side getting decapped, so that means a double cap now with 2 points per tick going against Angreifen, soon to be 3 points per tick. That's going to bleed very quickly. So Angreifen needs to do something and something fast to establish control at least on one point to maybe have a little bit of time. Little infantry blob here in the center for Angreifen. He is getting himself another Shrek upgrade there on that Volksgrenadier squad. Gonna try and see if he can maybe kill off the vehicles with the Volksgrenadiers. They're pretty strong at doing that, so not a bad idea. But again, like I said, 150 points left, 3 points per tick. That is not gonna last him too much.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Okay. So, see a lot of infantry retreating over on the right-hand side. Katyusha now back online, getting its rocket barrage set up. Does have a minimum range on that, so it needs to back off a little bit if it wants to be able to throw the barrage. But it can't throw the barrage right there. It knows where everybody is. Squad gets killed there right in the front as it tries to potentially sight there for the Katyusha. As the Katyusha throws a barrage right on the path of the Volksgrenadiers as they move forward. However, it doesn't seem... Oh! Gets a nice impact there. Actually kills off... No. Thought it killed off on a squad, but no. They're in different locations. Does manage to do quite a bit of damage, however. So the Volksgrenadiers do throw a barrage going there on the IS-2. Doing some damage, but they stay alive, of course, as the Volksgrenadiers back here did go for the point. Center point also getting capped there by Angreifen. So stopping the bleed at 120 and turning it around once again in his direction. Racket the Warfare in the center, set up right there. Going to be taking some shots there at the IS-2. Oh, my IS-2 taking a shot straight to the front, but it is pretty much impervious to that. Racket the Warfare. You know, it's a good gun, but it's not the best, and it's unable to do much against it. Gets itself cleared out on the retreat, and the IS-2 just pushes forward. Stolen Maxim trying to do as best it can, as it has been working pretty well for Angreifen throughout the game. However, it gets itself cleared out, and we see Angreifen throwing yet another supply half-track into the mix. Unable to build his Shredder Panzer headquarters and get anything heavier fielded, which is unfortunate at this stage of the game, and not going to work out rather well. Katyusha once again set up. Where is he? All the way back at base, but it does throw a barrage straight into the center. Oh, nasty hit there by the Katyusha. Down goes the Volksgrenadier squad. Oof. Everybody goes down. Oh, yeah. That's painful there for Angreifen. Even a Shrek gets dropped there for the conscripts to take. And with that final hit, the game comes to a close. And Burmie takes a win. Very nice. Very nice there, Burmie. Well, anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.